Avidity Arms PD10. Howdy y'all and welcome back. Before we go any farther into this product, I have to put it out there that this is the brainchild of Rob Pincus. And I have been friends through social media with Rob for quite a few years now, and I have trained with Rob in person. So I have watched the pains that he has gone through to bring this thing to market. And there's really no way that I could give a completely unbiased review of it, right? Now, I will do my best to be objective, and I want Rob to hear my feedback and my thoughts and opinions, but know that I want this product to succeed, right? So therefore, I cannot claim to be just completely neutral on the product. So what is it? This is a purpose-built self-defense handgun. It's not designed to take out to competitions. It's not designed to be a duty gun, like a cop gun or military. Like, it is designed to be a self-defense handgun, using Rob's knowledge from like 30 years in the industry of watching what people do in real world shooting scenarios. So that's where this is coming from, and the choices that went into creating this are based on that. So let's take it over to the table and get a closer look. All right, y'all, I'm gonna run through this kind of quickly, but starting off, we've got a cardboard box. Fairly not super fancy or anything, but it works, right? We've got owner's manual. Walk the Talk America. If you're not familiar with them, check them out. Got a sticker, a little pamphlet. The Aegis, I guess we say. It comes with its own little bottle of lube. That's pretty cool. An ice training sticker, pocket constitution, got a challenge coin, ice training, 2 expended rounds, proving that it works, or at least it worked twice. The obligatory lock that nobody uses. All right, we've got gun and extra mag. Let's talk about the magazines. So we've got a 1911 style 9mm, holds 10 rounds. So with 1 in the tube, you got 11. Made in America. It is Avidity branded, both on the metal and on the base plate, with a big old crazy hook there for helping you extract a stuck mag should that occur. And there's the other mag, exactly the same. We will go ahead and safety check it, and we are safe and clear. So let's move some of this out of the way and do right off the top a little size comparison. So let me just scoop all this up real quick, like toss it over here to the side and bring out Glock 19, Glock 43X. So what I wish I had was a Glock 48, because that's actually the size that this guy is just right there next to. So you can see from the top, it's just darn near exactly the same as a 43/48 in width, and lengthwise, length of the slide, really close to the 19, maybe just a hair shorter even. So very cool size. If you're familiar with the Glock 48, it's a very popular gun because it's basically Glock 19 size but thinner, which makes it more comfortable to carry. So back of the slide plate here, we've got some Avidity branding, very nicely done without being distracting or anything. And let's kind of go from the top down. We've got blackout rear, high vis front, which is the only way I want to see iron sights on a self-defense pistol. So that is a big win for me. got a bit of a hook there at the front of the rear sight to help with manipulations, one-handed type manipulations, and a square high-vis ring around a tritium sight. That's an Ameriglow branded sight. And I've never run that style before, but right away I like it a lot, and it gives this particular setup gives you a plenty of daylight through the notch. So again, big win on the irons, and I will probably run this for quite a bit with just the irons, and then eventually I will pick up a Holosun EPS carry. This is 507K footprint from the factory, so no need for a base plate or anything, which is very cool. All of the machining on the slide is really, really nice. The serrations are adequate. They're not anything fancy or anything, but they seem to grab every single time. No front serrations, not a big deal to me. If you're really into doing the press check thing, it might bother you, but doesn't bother me one bit at all. We also have a loaded chamber indicator, which is feelable, it's tactile. You're gonna recognize some kind of Glock DNA as far as the takedown. You've got your pin holding your housing back here, as well as the trigger pin, and then the front block housing. So that's all kind of familiar. But the grip angle is more 1911 kind of traditional grip angle, although it doesn't feel a whole lot different than the Glock. Let's just kind of run them side by side. Yeah, you can see it's a little more vertical, not quite as angled, but kind of similar because it has this really nice cutaway back here. So to me, like my point of aim when I bring it up feels kind of similar. It's almost like in between a Glock grip angle and a more traditional grip angle. But that relief, little extra relief cut back here really lets you get nice and high without worrying about slide bite. I mean, I guess if you had monster hands, maybe it might start being a little more precarious, but for my very medium-sized hands, really, really nice fit. And you'll notice a little cutaway there and there. Those are not gas pedals. That is an index point for placing your finger like so to know that it is in the proper place. I mean, I guess you could, if you're into a gas pedal kind of vibe, it might kind of work, but I am not. I actually ride my support hand thumb up much higher than that. So let's see, the magazine release works quite well. Magazines drop free and clear every time. And let's get up close on it. So you've got a little bit of a serrated kind of, whatever you want to call that, texture there. And then you've got the ICE Training logo. And okay, I would like a little more positive kind of texturing, but I get not going super crazy with the aggressive texturing because it is designed for carrying, and so a lot of people don't want that on their skin. So I get that. I might do a tape wrap. I might even stipple it, who knows. But so far, you know, I get it. It's not the most aggressive texturing, but if it's going to be right on your skin, you don't necessarily want that. I live down in Houston, Texas, where it's very swampy and murky, and I like a very, very aggressive grip texture. The slide release is interesting. It's kind of the opposite of Glock style. So instead of protruding more up here and then tapering down, it's tighter in up at the top and then pokes out a little more at the bottom. So let's go. It really makes it easy to push up to rack the slide back like that. And then for pressing down, it doesn't quite grab as positively as the Glock style. Yeah. But I have a feeling that if you are a thumbs forward kind of slide release rider. If you have trouble with not getting slide lock because of your grip, I have a feeling this might actually help that. So I'll be curious to see. I'm kind of 50-50. I do tend to sometimes not get slide lock because of my grip. I have kind of worked around it for the most part and have gotten better over the years, but sometimes I'll still get a fail to lock because of my exact thumb placement. So we will see on that, and that's going to be totally subjective to your exact grip. But let's see, I think I have pretty much covered all of that. So let me not show you how we're doing a Glock style takedown. Oh, look, it just took down. And inside, very nice machining. Everything is really top quality looking. And you've got a captive spring on the rod there. And let's see if I can get that. There's just a little bit of muzzle crown, a little bit of recessed crowning kind of vibe going on there. And it is branded as well, if I can get that to focus. There we go. And again, no funky deburring or burring or whatever. It's all nice and clean the way you would want it to look. And inside, kind of Glock-esque, although I do not believe anything is interchangeable. I could be wrong, but I believe that that's all proprietary stuff going on inside. So let's quickly off camera throw that back together. Bear with me 1 second there. And like so. And yeah, so there you go. And now let's throw it down for a pull test. Now I like to have the gauge kind of down towards the bottom, since that's really where my finger goes. And I'm coming up at just shy of 5.5. And that time just over 5.5. And again, just under 5.5. So right where you'd want it to be for a self-defense type gun. Not too light, but not too heavy. Trigger has take up, about like you'd expect. This trigger reminds me a lot of the Gen 4 Glock or Gen 3. So you've got wall, quite a bit of mush, and then there's your brake. And reset is out there a little, maybe even a little farther than a Glock, but yeah, there. Trigger is very serviceable. And I have come to kind of prefer mush in a trigger, which sounds weird. Everybody gets all hung up on having super short, crisp, whatever. I find that when I have a super short, crisp trigger, I tend to that a little more. With the long, mushy Glock style pull, it kind of just surprises me. And that's what you really want in a trigger, is to not anticipate the break. You want to just pull and just pull, right? So we will see as it breaks in. Like I say, it has not been fired yet. It is brand new. I have a feeling that may level out to closer to like a 5-pound pull once it has some rounds on it. And I think it will definitely smooth out a la Glock trigger. All right, so that's about as far as I can get us in this video. I haven't shot it yet. So, right, Like, that's where the rubber is going to really meet the road. But the 800-pound gorilla or the elephant or whatever you want to call it in the room has to be in a post P365 Hellcat world is a 10 round or 10+1 gun still relevant? And my answer to that is Glock 43X. That's what I carry. 43X, and I don't use the shield arms mags. I use factory mags. So 10+1, I am perfectly comfortable with that. And I don't carry a spare magazine like everybody insists you have to. You're going to get killed in the streets. It's just my choice. So, there. So, yes, I feel it is completely relevant. And again, we're talking about a full-length grip. So I have very medium-sized hands, but even if you have big old Sasquatch hands, you've got a little room going on so that you're not getting into this deal of adding base plate, pinky extensions and crap that feel all janky under your hands when you shoot. And no, it's going to fit pretty much everybody's hand, whether you have little Trumpy hands or great big old hands. And it is thin, like very thin. And that matters because that's going to help you feel comfortable carrying it. You're going to carry it a whole lot more than you're even going to shoot it at the range, much less ever use it in a self-defense scenario. So it's got to be comfortable to carry, right? So I feel that it is, yes, totally relevant. And again, I understand a lot of the choices that went into this because I've talked with Rob about them. But I think if you know, you should be picking up like, yeah, okay, yeah, makes sense, right? So that's where I'm going to leave this video. Like I say, I haven't shot it yet, so we will see. But I have a pretty good feeling that I'm going to like it. And big shout out to Rocket Armory. Thank you, John, for shooting it out to me so quickly. And thank you to all of my Patreons who keep the wheels on this thing and keep it going. Love you all. Thank you so much. Until next time, be easy, y'all.